Hey everyone. I thought since it's a new year, one of the things I usually do around this time is I do fresh installs of Windows and other operating systems, but mostly Windows, um, just to clear out all the bit rot that accumulates over the year. Um, it is a good thing to do. Keeps the computer, running fairly fast instead of getting slower. Maybe it's already pretty slow for you. Doing a fresh install Windows is not a bad idea. So I just thought I'd go over a couple ways how you go about doing that. We'll start with Windows 10, which is pretty easy. So here we are in a Windows 10 machine. Um, in order to do a fresh install of Windows 10, it's actually pretty easy. Um, go to Start, go to Settings, and then under Updates and Security, and then down here you'll see something called Recovery. And here you'll have two options. Um, First one is resetting the PC, which is um, what this does is it does kind of a wipe of Windows in a way. It pretty much just kind of clears out all the Windows files and all your programs, but keeps your documents and pictures and all that kind of stuff in place. So you don't have to worry about as much about backup with this. Probably should, just in case things go horribly wrong. But this is a way to have a pretty decent install of Windows without having to, lose everything. You'd only be losing your programs. That setup is basically a restore from well, this the advanced startup is basically it will restart your computer in a mode where you could like restart your computer from like a system image, or you could like repair Windows from a install disk or a USB drive. What I want to do is do this, reset this PC. So the first thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to keep your files or do you want to remove everything? I would say since you are kind of doing this as like a New Year, cleaning, I would say remove everything. Just make sure everything is backed up that you want. But then just kind of manually put things back on your computer. This way, you can kind of sort through what you actually still need and what you don't really need, and then you have less stuff on your computer. So, either one of these is going to delete, all your applications and reset your settings. So keep that in mind. But to keep my files, we'll keep your files. Remove everything, we'll remove everything. So in this case, like I said, we'll do remove everything. And now it's going to just kind of get ready and gather up all the files it needs. So now it wants to know if I want to remove my files. It'll do like a quick format of the computer. If you want to remove files and clean the drive, basically it will kind of try to make sure that the drive isn't recoverable. If say like you're selling this computer, the computer that you're doing this on, you could then feel more safe about, getting rid of selling it to someone, knowing that having some sort of feeling that they're not going to be able to like recover anything that was on your computer. Not to say they couldn't, but it'll make it more difficult. But in this case, I'm just going to say remove my files, because this is just a virtual machine. I don't really need to scrub it. Reset. So now it's going to get ready to reinstall Windows. Keep in mind too, if you maybe have an older computer, you may be required to use like a Windows disk that may have come with your computer, or that you would have to burn first, or a USB drive. For the most part, most machines now, when Windows 10 does its install, it makes a recovery partition that it uses for reinstalling Windows quickly. I would say, always have a recovery drive nearby that has Windows install on it, because once you do this and something goes wrong, it makes it a lot easier if you already have like a Windows install on a flash drive or on DVDs or something. But in most cases that shouldn't happen. This should be pretty straightforward. It's gonna go through and do this reset, and when it's done, you should have a clean copy of Windows. You'll have to re-sign in and everything, but outside of that, pretty straightforward for Windows 10. Alright, here we are at the setup screen, and let's change the time zone to my time zone. There we go. I mean, for the most part, this is probably what you're used to seeing anyways, from like when you first got your computer. And just let this go a little bit. And I own this computer. Virtual machine, but whatever. I'm just gonna make a local account because it's just a virtual machine that I'm gonna throw away. gonna use Cortana right now, though it is useful. And now it's setting things up. And now we're at the Windows desktop again, which on your computer, this is where you maybe go through and make sure there's any updates to do in Windows Update, and start reinstalling all your applications and make sure all your files are there if you did the refresh with keeping your files, or move stuff back over if you deleted everything. So that's how you do it on Windows 10. Older versions of Windows is a little bit different. Still not that hard, but still different. So, like I said, doing a reinstall on computers, with different... Doing a reinstall on computers that are a little bit older, that are running 8.1, 8, 7, or even Vista. You have to do this a little bit different. It isn't as streamlined for the most part. The OEM of your computer may have like a recovery partition set up. That all you have to do is restart your computer, hit an F key, and do a fresh install. But for the most part, what you're going to need is either a copy of Windows, one that came with your, or CDs that came with your computer, or flash drives. Some come with flash drives. Or you may actually have to make the discs yourself. Some OEMs have programs in Windows to make a DVD or a flash drive with the image that's needed to do a reinstall of Windows. But they all kind of work fairly similar, so I'll do this with Windows 7 Home Premium. It works pretty much the same along the line, so let's get started with that. Here's my Windows 7 desktop. What we're actually going to have to do is restart the computer. But, first let's put on the disk. We put in the disk. You could run setup now and do like an in-place upgrade, but that's not what we're going to do. What we do is restart the computer. And in this case, I already had this pre-set up to boot from a CD, but what you can do is, if your computer isn't already set up that way, you'll have to go into your BIOS and tell it to boot from the CD drive or a USB drive, whatever it is that you have your Windows install on. And from there, then you should be able to get a screen like this showing it, starting to do the loading up the Windows install. So from this point, it should look pretty much very similar to the Windows 10 install. The tricky part is just knowing that you have to reinstall, restart your computer. 3, 2, 1. From here, it should look pretty similar to the Windows 10 install. No, it's not. 3, 2, 1. Alright, now that the install disk is, going, and you've loaded up the Windows 7 install, should be able to just hit install now. And it's going to get the stuff set up. You agree. And we wanted to do a custom. And since we are doing a fresh install, we just want to format. There we go. Now everything is gone off this computer. And just hit next. And it will start an install of Windows 7. So, just do this. Sure, it can be my goes C. Password. Next, I'm not gonna put in a product key, but this is where you would put in your product key if you have one. And then do next. Use recommended settings. I'll set it to my time zone. Next, home network. And there you go. Now that's a successfully clean install of Windows 7 or 8, 8.1, or 10. Or sorry, not 10, but Vista. So, or really, or even, yeah, 3, 2, 1. So there you go. Here's a successful clean install of Windows 7. Same thing go for Windows Vista or 8, 8.1. All work pretty similar. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. All works pretty similar to this one. So that's all you need to do a clean install in either Windows 10 or Windows older versions of Windows. It all works very similarly along the Windows spectrum. So until next time, bye.